Hey guys, it's Kelly from Coffee Sunshine Paper, and I am back this week with our little journal, Beginner's French. In the first video of this little series, we gutted the book and we put on some tape and some fabric and got it ready for the signatures to be sewn in. We picked out the papers, and then in last week's video, I put on the tabs. And so I thought this week we could sew them in case you haven't seen that or just need a refresher. And yeah, maybe if we have time, we'll decorate a page or two or catch up on the full deck challenge number 3, the Shinuki Art playing card challenge. So yeah, I guess let's get these signatures sewn in. So the first thing I like to do is just kind of make sure everything is lined up the way I want it to be, if there's a right way to read it. Like, see how the numbers are facing a certain way, so I would want them facing me. This can stay down there, and then any smaller papers I can just decide if I want them, so you guys can see, if I want them at the bottom here, if I want them in the top, or if I just want them in the center. This one I'll just put at the bottom. This one's a full one. I think most of these ended up being full because this book is so small. This one I can put at the top. And this one, yeah, so those are good. Those are all fine the way they are. Now this one, the second signature. I think they're all pretty much full pages and facing the right way, but just double checking. Yeah, they look good. All right, so these are good to go, and so now I need to poke the holes. And I used to poke the holes from inside, and then I made some mistakes in that, like, I would poke maybe one hole through a word or something, and then the second hole would be under the word or over, so it's clearly not lined up. So now I'm poking holes from the pretty side to make sure that I don't do that again. I still don't really measure unless if it's a big, wide spine for a customer, I will measure. But if it's just got like a little spine like this, it's pretty small, like ruler. But if it's just a small one like this, 1 inch, right, then I don't bother measuring. So we'll see how it goes. Sometimes I'm like, maybe you should have measured that one, Kel. So 2 signatures, so I need 2 holes. I'm gonna go, like I said, through the sort of pretty side, and this looks about good here. This is just an awl. It's called an awl. Mine's not a heavy duty one. There's definitely heavier duty. I feel like for the books I make, I don't need to poke through really heavy material. It's usually like maybe 10 papers and, a book spine. There's some serious awls out there, but this is fine. I think I got it off of Amazon for just a couple bucks. So let's put a hole here. And obviously be careful doing this. Fingers are on the other side. And here, looks good. Okay, and then I can kind of tell that they're lined up with the word. If I came in from the other side, you don't really know. And I've made mistakes that way before and regretted having to send out said mistakes. Because you can't, this is the one thing you can't really take back, right? Like, you can screw up the inside papers and kind of cover it up, but you can't really mess this part up. It's sad if you do, because it's hard to recover from. All right, and then somewhere in the middle, just get there and there. And then I'm not great at like this third one from this angle, so I like to just flip it around and get a little more control. So I'm right-handed, I guess. Maybe it has something to do with that. I don't know. go here. I'm just moving it around so it's nice and big on the other side. And here's good. Because remember, we're going through tape, right? That sort of fake Tyvek tape. That what's mine called? Tuck tape or something like that. Fake Tyvek. And the fabric and a bunch of glue. So it has to get through there. And then I can see them pretty well here. I can see all of them. Sometimes I would go in, if maybe the material's harder to see the holes, I would just go in with a little marker and just kind of highlight the hole from the inside for myself. So I do that pretty often, just kind of highlight it, and nobody really sees the pen mark anyway, so it seems harmless. All right, I think she's ready. Okay, and then just making sure, double checking the writing's in the right direction, and these are in the right direction, and then I just have to line up the signatures, right? Because I want them the same kind of distance, you know, on both sides. I should just zoom in here, but I just want to show you that I want the same distance here, and then I want them, you know, kind of over each other here, because I'm going to go back in with that marker and mark where these little dots are. And you could do this with a pencil. It doesn't have to be a marker. Again, just sort of flattening them and then just marking. These are both kind of black writing with a white background, so it's going to be easy to see my little pen mark. Sometimes, depending on the paper, it's kind of hard to see the black dot. Like this one might be hard. This one here, I don't know if you can tell, but there's a lot of black going on here. I don't know, I'm not sure. I might need to go in with, sometimes I use my white gel pen if I think it's going to be hard to see the black dot. But these are okay. These are all right. And then you can always sort of line it back up and double check. But this is the one I'm a little bit worried about right there. So maybe I'll just make it a little extra fatter. And again, I would probably be more careful if this was for a customer, but I know it's for me, so if I see the black dot, it doesn't really bother me. All right, so those are good. Now we're gonna take them carefully, not moving around the inside pages. If there were a lot of shorter ones, I'd be like super careful, but I think I just have that one shorter one. So just not moving them around too much, finding the center. It was this one, this Japanese one. And then just flipping it inside out. And then I'm going to find those little black dots I did and just push through to the other side. Again, be careful because your finger's right there. Okay, here's the one I was worried about, but I'm not worried at all. Do you see it? Right there, not worried. And to the other side. And then this one was here. Again, just be careful because your fingers are on the other side. Keep them out of the way. And then get the... All right, so that's the inside. And then I just flip it back around and set it aside for a minute. Do the other one, same way. Find the center. This one, I think, was this one. Was the center, yeah. Okay, flip it inside out. Finding those little black dots. Let's see, I hope I'm in camera. I think I am. Here was one. Are we sure about that? I'm not sure. So we're gonna go back in and line it back up with, yeah, that wasn't one, right? That's what I thought it was there, but that's not one. It's down here. Okay, so going back in. Going back in here. And then my last one was this one here. Yeah, so sometimes it's hard to see those black dots. I've used washi tape sometimes to hold the outside signature papers together. Like sometimes the books come with really pretty, you know, the first paper that's right inside the book, fly paper I think it's called, are really pretty. And so I try to make a signature paper out of those fly pages, and you have to connect them with something, right? So I'll use washi tape a lot of times, and trying to mark the washi tape is not always fun, so that doesn't always turn out great. All right, so these are all set. Legend says that we should start with the back one. I just do it because that's what all the experts say. I don't have an opinion of my own on the matter. I just don't ever try to do that one first, so I have nothing to compare it to. I have listened to all the people constructing these things. They all say start at the back, so I'm starting at the back. All right. The string I'm going to use is just floss, embroidery floss. So I have this bag of floss. I have my kind of cooler colors, my warmer colors together, and then all my neutrals together. They're just in bags. And I think I'm just going to go with black for this one. Regular old black. So also, I've just listened to the experts. I don't know, and I haven't tried any other measurements myself. But just doing 3 times the length seems to be great every time. So 1, 2, 3 times the length. And I need 2 of them because I have 2 signatures. We'll do it again. 1. Oops. They get knotted sometimes, these little things here. Just undo it. Oops. Okay. All right. And again, 1, 2, 3. Cut that one off, and we should be good to go. And then this I'll just put back in the bag for maybe a smaller project, or, you know, who knows what comes up. This will go over there, and we're ready to go. I keep a darning needle on with these other, these are sharp sewing needles. This one and this one are pretty sharp sewing needles, and then a pin, some paper clips, whatever. But this one is a darning needle, I think it's called. They're really blunt ends, so you can't really hurt yourself unless, you know, you're doing it with force and you accidentally hit your skin. These are really kind of, you know, they're blunt. So I think I'm in focus here. Can you see that? Okay, you can't really hurt yourself with this unless, again, it's with force. Okay, and just going in. All right, so we don't need to double down on the thread, just single thread. Uh-oh, my dog thinks she hears something outside. Okay, yep, she's in the craft room with me. She's napping, and I have a window here, so, you know, she hears everything. We have fox out in the back, and they're barking. I don't know if it's like mating season or something for fox right now, but they bark, and then so she starts barking. So she might lose it, and I might have to let her out of my room. Now she's moving around right now, and she's looking out the window, trying to decide if she needs to run down the stairs and out the dog door, because that's what she does. But we're going to hear about it if she does, because it'll be a loud bark, and I apologize, you know, she's either snoring or barking. So anyway, this is what's going to go down with this thing. We're going to go through the middle, and then through the middle of the book, okay, out here, back around through the top, back through this hole, down there, out that side, back in here, back through this hole, and then we're going to tie them off. Okay, so again, out in the middle, and back out, up at the top, come back down from the inside, back out that hole this way, and back in through the middle. That's the plan. We'll see if we can make it happen. So through the middle, always the easiest one. Make sure this is upright. I have done this upside down before, so double check every time. Just double check. And then I'm just going to leave a little bit out here. Not too much is necessary. And then again from the outside, find the hole there. line it up with a hole in there, and then through here, come down through the middle. Here, yeah, on the camera still. This one's resisting a little, so we're going to investigate, see what's going on in there. Okay, nothing, we're good. And through there, and then again, this is the tough one, because you want to try not to split the thread when you come back through here. You guys see what's going on here? We got to go in here, right? And sometimes you split the thread in here and it just kind of becomes a pain. So let's just try not to do that. There it is. It doesn't look like I split it, but we don't know till we get to the next part in here. All right, here, back through the middle. This is where we're trying not to split it. Okay, we're gonna see. How I can tell if I split it or not is I don't pull right now. I don't pull, but now I get them together and then I pull a little bit and then I can see if they're connected in here, and I can see they're not. So we're good. We didn't go through, one thread didn't go through the other. So we're good. So now, again, just kind of make sure you're upright. I'm upright. Always checking, right? Always checking. Do I have any weird things happening? No. Okay. So now you want to make sure your thread is on either side. Oh, the dog is moving. I might need to let her out. Okay, make sure you're on either side of that center thread, and then just tie simple knots. And one, I usually do 3, 2, and then maybe you want to go the reverse direction that you just went. 3. Okay, I don't cut them all the way down. You can cut them all the way to there if you want to. I usually leave them a little bit longer. Most of the time, I think people like to add beads and charms and things. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, so I'm going to leave it long. You know, maybe I want beads and charms. I just don't know. So I'd rather have it long until I decide. Okay, so then I just sort of flatten them. And these, I think I only have 8 pages here, so it's not going to be that bulky, but sometimes, you know, if you have 10 or 12 papers that are folded over, it gets a little bulky. So maybe you want to go in here and just flatten them out. I use my fingers, but if you have a bone folder, not bone folder, is that what this is called? Something like that. I don't know. Something like that. Bone something. You know, that helps kind of flatten out with a little bit more force. But I'll just use my fingers and see what I did there. I just ripped that. It's okay, we can cover that up. That's what we do, right? As junk journalers, we cover stuff up. We glue it, we tape it. And on to signature number 2. Again, just getting that in there. And one single layer of the thread. We don't need to double down on the signature thread. Okay, find our center. It was Japan. And our center hole. Resisting a little. There we go. Okay, then we go through the center. The fabric's preventing me from doing what I need to do over there. All right, so through there, and then up through the top. You guys see? Through the top. And again, I run into my finger. It doesn't hurt. It's a very blunt, I think again it's called darning needle. You want to use that. You don't want to use a sharp needle because, man, it is easy to be poking through these papers and run right into your skin. It is no fun. And then you have unfortunate blood on your project. And no one wants that, even if it's yours. You don't want that. All right. A little resistance here. We're gonna figure out why. And sometimes it's just a matter of, you know, slowing down and going one little piece of paper at a time, and that's okay. There's no hurry when you're doing this. Nobody's in a hurry. This is your time in the craft room having some fun. Okay, no hurry. And then just back through the center. This is the one that always gives me a little bit of anxiety because I don't want to split that thread. But I'll show you what we do if we do. Okay, you can see I did, right? Oh, let me get you closer. You see how it's in the middle of that thread. So I'm going to back it out and see if I can fix it now. If I can't, though, it's no big deal because we can fix it. Okay, so there again. See, I'm getting ready to go through the thread. We don't want that. So take care to just get it out of the way. Okay, again, this I don't pull hard, right? Because maybe I did go through. And so here, I grab them both and just tug a little bit. And then I check it out, make sure these are not, one didn't go through the other accidentally. Nope, it looks like it did. Okay, see that there? I don't know if I can get close enough for you to see where it happened. Right there, this one went through that one. So we're just going to carefully pull it out. Right, nice and careful. The one that went through is the one you want to pull out, not the other one, because then you're going to unravel these that are nice and tight together. Okay, but now we're good to go again. We're good. They're done, ready to roll. So get one on the other side of the other of the center string. Pull a little tight. There have been times that I pull so tight I break the thread at this stage of the game. And you know, it's a little frustrating because you have to do this all over again. But in the end, it's kind of good that it happened to you when you're making it instead of if you're giving it to somebody and the thread just, for whatever reason, can't handle how tight it was, right? You don't want it breaking on the person that you're giving it to. So if it breaks on you, that's fine. That's the best time to break it. Just do a quick check. You don't have any weird things sticking out. Everything's smooth here, yes. Okay, just nice and tight without being too tight. And then just a couple knots. 3 knots is all I do. Try to reverse one of them. And then again, just maybe line it up with the one you just snipped off. So they're the same length. If you do want to add some beads or charms, we'll see. That has yet to be seen. And then just kind of smushing them down. This one's a little, it's a little, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Fragile, maybe? You can see some tears in there. So we might go in there with some washi tape. Gotta remember that about the Japan paper. It's a little fragile. Excuse me. Happy to be coming to you without the sniffles this week. My cold is finally gone. I actually went to school every day last week. Yeah, and there she is. I love it. It's great. I think it's really sweet. It's small, but not too small. And in case you're wondering, I don't even know the dimensions right now. It looks like maybe 5 by 7 1/4 or so. Okay.